Are you someone who struggles to switch off from work at the end of the day? In this video, we're going to share with you 4 tips on how you can shift out of work mode so you can fully rest and recharge after your day's work. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Yasmin
and I'm Nadia.
If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to hit the subscribe button below and the bell so you're notified every time we upload a new video on how to transform your life from stressed and unfulfilled to joyful and balanced. So in the past, we had been through burnout several times, and one of the big contributors to this was the fact that we weren't able to switch off. When we were meant to be resting and recharging, we were still thinking about work, and we learned how to manage that. And today we're going to be sharing with you the 4 things that we did to shift out of work mode so that we could fully rest and recharge and avoid burnout. So the first way to actually switch off and rest is to learn why rest is so beneficial for you. So the reason most of us are so resistant to resting and switching off and taking time out is because we truly think it's a waste of time and it's going to make us fall even further behind because we have so much to do. But the truth is that resting and taking time out is actually going to make you more efficient and productive in the long term. There are many studies out there now demonstrating the vast benefits of taking breaks and resting on your focus, your productivity and your creativity. If we truly realized how much switching off and resting would propel us forward, and we learnt the benefits of actually resting, we would all be more likely and willing to do it. Let's face it, if we were all conditioned to believe the truth that resting is a strategy to get more work done, be more creative, have more clarity, be more efficient and productive, we would all be making it a priority and part of our routine, and would go from needing to do it to actually wanting to do it because of all the benefits we would gain. So take the time to learn and think about why rest is so important for your mental, physical, emotional health and well-being, and for your productivity and your efficiency. Reflect on what will happen if you don't rest, or if you burn out, or you get to a point of exhaustion where you have to take weeks or months on end off to recover. How will that affect you and your work in the long term? Do you really want that? If not, do yourself the favor of changing what you make rest mean. Instead of making it mean that you're lazy or you're weak or you'll fall behind, learn and think about the benefits of it and start to incorporate rest into your daily routine. The second tip is to get your work-related thoughts out of your head and onto paper. So a lot of the time it's hard for us to switch off after a day's work because we haven't shifted out of work mode. So our minds are consumed with what's left on our to-do list, what we have to do tomorrow, and the action points from the day's meetings. So all these thoughts are left floating around in our minds when we want to rest and recharge. And so the best thing you can do is actually release those thoughts from your mind. The best way to do that is to write down any work-related thoughts on a piece of paper. When you write down these work-related thoughts or outstanding tasks, imagine them being released from your head onto the paper. So any worry, stress or anxiety attached to those tasks, imagine that they are being placed on that piece of paper and out of your head. Another way to approach this is that if you're trying to rest but your mind is consumed by the thoughts of what you didn't get done that day and things that you need to get done tomorrow, then write down a date and time in your calendar for when you will complete these tasks. So for example, if you're trying to rest but your mind is really worrying about these 2 tasks that you didn't get done today that you know you'll need to do tomorrow, instead of sitting and worrying about them, actually go to your calendar and write down how you're going to factor these tasks into your day tomorrow and commit to getting them done tomorrow so you can release them out of your mind and carry on resting, recharging. Sometimes when my mind is overwhelmed with a lot of things that I have to do the following day, what I'll do is I'll actually plan out my tasks for that following day. And I either do this in a calendar, or you can have a notebook or even in a notes app on your phone, and write down the tasks that you're going to get done and commit to looking at this list first thing in the morning so you know you won't forget about the tasks and you can start doing them the following day. But remember to be realistic here. So if you have 5 or 6 outstanding tasks that you didn't get done, don't just overwhelm yourself by adding them to tomorrow's to-do list. This will be more a case of prioritization. So you need to figure out what is going to add the most value to you and what matters most, and focus on adding those tasks to your to-do list. So our third tip is to make rules and stick to them. Setting and having strong rules or boundaries around work is an important part of being able to switch off and rest. If you want to be able to switch off from work and avoid burnout, then you need to have rules around work to help you achieve that. For example, setting a boundary around how many hours you work, or when you switch off technology, or how much you talk about work outside of working hours. So for example, by making a rule or setting a boundary that you turn off and put away all technology as soon as the workday finishes, you can learn to switch off and stay switched off more easily, because you won't randomly get a phone notification on your work phone that will trigger work thoughts, or see your laptop in the corner of the room that will make you think about the tasks you have to do tomorrow. The boundaries you set obviously depend on your own circumstances. However, whatever your position is, it's important that you do set boundaries around your work, so you don't allow work thoughts to invade your mind when you should be resting. You can start by writing down and getting clear on what hours or days you should be working, whether you'll work outside of working hours, and how much. Then set some boundaries around when you turn off phone notifications and when you switch off technology completely. Maybe also set some rules around how often and how much time you want to be resting and recharging throughout the day. It's important to be crystal clear on what these boundaries or rules are, and that you stick to them, so you don't end up overstepping them or letting other people overstep them, and then you end up in the same position with no rules or boundaries around work. So make them as clear and easy to follow as possible, write them down and stick to them. Our fourth tip is to create a switch. So when we say create a switch, we are talking about 3 areas: your mind, your physicality, and your environment. When you want to shift to a different mode, change your mind by giving it something else to focus on. Change your physicality by moving your body. Change your environment by moving away from your workspace. So what you want to do is to create a routine that triggers your mind to know that you are no longer in work mode, by creating a contrast with your mind, physicality, and environment. So you may have heard people say that getting out of your work clothes once you finish work can trigger your mind to know that you're no longer in work mode and you're more in personal life mode. And the way that this works is, if every time you finish work you change into a completely different outfit, and you do this every time that you finish work, and at the same time you start to relax and do other things that are non-work related, what will happen is your mind will create this pattern and this habit to know as soon as you switch your clothes, you're no longer in work mode and you're in personal life mode. And this is what we're talking about here. If you can create some sort of pattern or habit or a switch that changes your mind, your environment, and physicality every time that you finish work, you can train your mind to start to switch off more automatically. A way to do this is by, for example, exercising when you finish work. That will change your physical state and your mind, because you'll be focusing on the exercise, and you'll most likely be changing your environment because you'll be leaving your workspace to do the exercise. Doing a hobby like creating art or gardening can also help you switch off, because your mind will switch to do something that you enjoy, and you can also focus on something else. Even having a routine of putting music on and cooking after work can create focus on a different task and will put you out of your work environment and therefore out of work mode. From experience, if you had to pick one of these things to do, the most important thing you can do to get out of your mind is to get into your body. Whether that's through exercising or being really present, doing cooking, or whether it's meditating, getting into your body is the fastest way to shift modes. Because sometimes just trying to chill out and watch TV after you finish work isn't enough for your mind to just let go. You need to actually create a massive switch, a massive shift into a different area of focus or a different environment, or move your physical body to actually let your mind let go. If you do need some more tips and you're getting into a bit of a burnt out state, we do have a free masterclass called Burnout to Balance, which we'll link down below, which will give you some more tips and tricks, and also give you a step-by-step guide to finding the root cause of why you may be struggling to get out of a burnt out state, if that is something that you struggle with. So check that out down below. That's it for today, guys. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.